Okay, so hello again, audience. I'm Logon411, and welcome to another Fanboy Response. Yeah, you saw in the title. It does say a fanboy reaction from me, but in the title of this video, but in the title for the movie that says that I'm gonna do a reaction for. It's not a Marvel movie. It's a Star Wars movie, not a Pixar movie. No, it's the BFG. So, why am I doing a movie like that you wouldn't expect me to fanboy over? Well, thing is, those of you who don't know, I don't think I've mentioned this a ton of times, but I want to be a filmmaker. Okay, you probably all know that, but the person who got me there, who inspired me to want to do that, or at least the image that I thought of, like, when I first thought, when I wanted to be a director, I thought to myself, what kind of director would I want to be? Then I thought to myself, at that time when I first discovered that, oh my god, I want to be a filmmaker, Steven Spielberg showed up. Steven bad cuss word in Spielberg came into my mind, and yeah, he's just one of my favorite directors of all time, and he's directed like one of my childhood movies, and then it's directed like movies that I still love today. Yeah, there's E.T., which is like my third favorite movie of all time. This is, if you can tell, be aware, no editing whatsoever. Yeah, E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I just recently watched Jaws and loved it. Of course, the Indiana Jones movies. My favorite Indiana Jones movie has to be Last Crusade, because, again, Sean Connery and Harrison Ford teaming up together in the same movie. Yeah, Han Solo and James Bond. Newer ones, like I said, more recent video, Bridge of Spies, Lincoln, I love, as much as the others, but still love it, you know. And Duel, his first project he ever did. It's such an underrated movie. Maybe I might talk about it more, but absolutely love that film. Point is, Steven Spielberg has directed a lot of my childhood, and yeah, helped me grow in my mind to the feeling of why I love movies the big amount I love it. Yeah, so in a way, I do fanboy over his movies, because his movies mean a lot to me, and I love them dear to my heart, aside from King and the Crystal Skull, but really, everyone has their drawbacks, although I mostly blame that movie on George Lucas, so I'm still in the winning side for Steven Spielberg. Anyway, my favorite, beloved one, like I said, third favorite movie is E.T. Reason that is, like, it's not only my favorite Steven Spielberg movie, but it's one of my favorite family movies ever. It's just so perfect. It's just one of those perfect movies ever, and it gets it right. And it's just what it started the whole trend in my mind. What was the first discovery I've had of boy finding like weird creature, like funky looking creature, but befriending it and forming a friendship with it. And it was the first time movie I was absorbed by that, if you don't count Monsters Inc., but but anyway, like, and when I first watched that as a kid, a lot of my friends said that when they were my age first saw E.T., they said like E.T. freaked them out, but no, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And if there was one genre of Steven Spielberg movies that I love, it's the kind of ones that are whimsical, magical, ones where like he can literally absorb all imagination, all creativeness, all cleverness, all inventiveness he can have to building new words, like worlds, like, yeah, E.T., definitely Hulk. Movie gets a lot of flack, but I love it. And movies like that. That is my favorite kind of Steven Spielberg movie. And segues. Now we get to the BFG, which again is the roots of what E.T. and Hook kind of did, building this whole world that, honestly, in my mind, I have never seen on screen. You know, even although the Giants did kind of look like the Giants from Jack and the Beanstalk, but better technology, and it's I don't know where to start with this movie. It's short. It's really great. Well, to start, like, when I first heard that they were making a movie of the book, Roald Dahl book, BFG, first of all, I never read the book, so just pointing that out there, just before you type that in the comments, I did not read the book. That being said, I was a person going into this movie, a viewer, without having any knowledge of whatever was in the book, and I still love it. Yeah, in fact, I prefer doing that when I'm watching a movie that's based off of a book, because I feel like that kind of ruins a movie for me that's based off of a book, because whenever I watch a movie that's based on a book, I always just check and see, oh, did they get this right? Oh, did they get this wrong? Oh, it kind of escapes it for me, and kind of takes away the feeling like, no, I just want to watch a movie. But it's impossible to do that, because you check to see if they messed something up, and yeah, but because of that, I did not do that. My mom read the book when she was little, so she said, like, her memory of the book was a little fuzzy, so that helped. I saw the movie with my mom. She loved it too, of course. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, segues. What is the time on here? Okay, yeah, 18 minutes. Again, I talk fast, but I still talk a lot. Anyway, so when I first heard this movie, the BFG, was coming out, I haven't read the book. I've heard the book. A couple of people talked about it, like saying like they read the book as a kid. One of their favorite Roald Dahl books, although it's not as known as a Roald Dahl book as much as Charlie and Chocolate Factory, The Witches, Matilda, all those great books of Roald Dahl. No, not as popular as those books, but still beloved. Still beloved. But then I heard that Steven Spielberg was directing, and for the longest time, for a couple of years, with the minor exception of The Adventures of Tintin, which is another great Steven Spielberg movie, really love, also kind of overlooked, yeah, but for the last couple of years, he's just been doing, based on a true story, and autobiography movies. Lincoln, Warhorse, Moonish, I said that wrong, Bridge of Spies, and those movies have been good. They are been really good, and I love them all. But again, like I said, my favorite genre of Steven Spielberg movies is one where, like, it's out otherworldly, where he makes up his own rules, and he can be clever with, like, you don't expect what you're seeing on screen, and yeah, and what really sealed the deal for me, though, not just Spielberg, but the movie would be distributed by Disney. Disney, yeah. Two of my favorite things in the whole world. Disney, part of my biggest childhood. No, they are my childhood. Disney and Steven Spielberg, who helped shape my filmmaking childhood. And put them together and you get a happy Joe. Yeah, when the trailer first showed up, I was hyped as cuss word. And yeah, next to Civil War, it's the biggest movie I've been looking forward to this year. And strangely enough, you don't get a lot of this a lot of the time, but it piqued my expectations. In fact, it exceeded my expectations. It was really great. Okay, I know how to first say it. Animation. At first kind of skeptical, like, I was like, oh, CGI again, okay. And I don't hate CGI when it's good. It's pretty dang good. But I do wish, like, can you go like Force Awakens or Mad Max Fury Road where you can go practical? I mean, you can go practical, but it's really, really hard. I know it's really, really difficult to have uh, characters that man be huger than this whole room. That's pretty impossible to make that practical. So yeah, making that CGI is good, but then when I saw that like they were going motion capture, yeah, if you're gonna go live action, yeah, that kind of makes sense to make the giants go, you going with the way of motion capture. And when I heard that Steven Spielberg was using motion capture for the movie, I was like, okay, yeah. Although he used motion capture for The Adventures of Tintin, and it it wasn't as creepy as other movies that use motion capture, but it was still Uncanny Valley, but not so much. It's the least Uncanny Valley-esque motion capture movie. But me, and I know a lot of other people feel this way, movies that delve just in motion capture, they're known for being, again, Uncanny Valley-esque. Like a bunch of movies like Polar Express, as much as that's a Christmas classic in my mind. Good lord, those characters are creepy. It's too real. Tom Hanks, Christmas Carol? I won't even mention Mars Needs Moms. What's Mars Needs Moms? That never happened. But nonetheless, motion capture is kind of looked down upon. But I think what works best for motion capture is when you don't make every character motion capture. I mean, the way that this movie works, why this movie works, is because the giants are kind of inhuman. They still have human features, as like Mark Rylance, who plays the big friendly giant. He still has some of those features like motion capture should do. But he still kind of looks like his face is misshapen. Of course, he has a big ears, like the book should say, and his nose, yeah, so he still looks human, but he still kind of looks inhuman. Yeah. As the other giants do. They kind of weirdly bodily shaped, where they kind of look off. So, yeah, that is a good use of motion capture, when it looks real, but it doesn't look too real. But with that said, the way that they make the facials real, it's the best use of motion capture I've seen in a movie recently. No, yeah. And I had to say it's right up there with one of the best other uses of motion capture for a movie that I've seen. For example, Gollum in Two Towers and Return of the King, which in my mind is the best use of motion capture of all time. And again, another Andy Serkis performance. Love that guy. The Planet of the Apes movies, the newer rebooted ones. Okay, prequel. Yeah. Right, Planet of the Apes, not Planet of the Apes. This movie's on par with that. The animation, motion capture on Big Friendly Giant, and pretty much all the giants are just, so tremendously great. And, like, now, let me talk about the actors. Again, no spoilers. It's really gonna be hard, because really there's no twist, there's no turn in this movie, so it's gonna be hard to say spoilers. Anyway, actors' performances. The only actors that you really, really need to know how well they do is the two main leads. The little girl, Sophie, and Mark Rylance as Big Friendly Giant. So let me start with Sophie, the little girl. Pretty dang good. I think it's the most hardest for child actors to do a performance and play a character, because they're kids, and a lot of kids, they just go space side. It's like, oh, say this thing, okay, "You sir, don't do that. Oh, I'm gonna hit you." And it's kind of dull, but it's not their fault. They're kids, yeah. But then again, you get some kids that really knock it out of the park. They really, I don't know what they do. Yeah, but like good use of, good examples of great child acting performances, of course, are Haley Joel Osment in Sixth Sense, best use of it. Steven Spiel. Speaking of Steven Spielberg, the Drew Barrymore in E.T. and kid who played Elliot, his name escapes me. But him, yeah, and surprisingly, every kid from the movie Super 8, they all did a great job. The kid from Ty Sarandon, I'm amazed that I got his name. But him, in the movie Mud, he did a tremendous job. And movies, child actors like that, Ruby something, I'm a terrible person, but I know her first name, I don't know her last name, it's a weird funky name, but Ruby, in this movie playing Sophie, is now one of my favorite child acting performances for a movie. She did great, she had the facials right, she just carried the movie very, very well. In a movie like this, where like the story is centered on the point of view of your character, you have to be darn sure that you can pique the audience's interest and want them to make them keep watching the movie. And she did a great job of that with her acting. That is just really, really good. I guess I just have a thing for British people and European speaking people, like with their performances, because I feel like they're always going to do great. Taking away Hetty Raymond's performance in Jupiter Ascending, but regardless, yeah. And then Mark Rylance as the BFG. Dude won an Oscar for Bridge Spies. Of course he was great, but he was really, really great. My mom, who was sitting by, like, she said it best. Like, as the movie was nearing the end, like the third act, she looked over to me. Was like, "He's kind of adorable. He's kind of cute." Yeah, and he was, cause again, he's motion capture, and usually when I see motion capture done badly, they're creepy as heck. But no, he was very, very charming, like my mom said, cute and adorable. And yeah, so both two actors, they carried the movie. And the movie, I felt like, would not have worked if they didn't have a good performance and if they had no chemistry. And that is what they had. The two main actors had chemistry. And another aspect, just directing. I have missed this Spielberg. Like I said before, my favorite genre of Spielberg is whimsy and magicalness, and it's here, and the time is going low. I need to hurry up. And John Williams music, another great piece of music from the great John Williams. I missed something new recently. His recent movies that John Williams has composed has been yeah, minus Force Awakens, of course, but this is a new piece of music that is now one of my favorite. I'd say in the top 10, yeah, I'd say it's number 6 now on my top 10 favorite John Williams music. It's really, really great, really just whimsical, and it's brought me back to classic Spielberg that I miss so much, and time is going lower, and all I have to say is go see it. Take your kid to see it, because in a time when we have like so many blockbusters with superheroes, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Pixar, animation, all that with boom, 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 boom. While some of those are great, it's nice to see something that's not sugar-coated and the door's opening. Yeah, it's closed now. It's nice to see a movie like that be really, it's still closing. Be like not sugar coated, but takes your audience serious, but doesn't have any explosion, doesn't have any whip, and it's just a classic, devoted story. If there's anyone who I think could have done that, it's definitely Spielberg. With that said, bottom line, guys, go see the movie, and I am tired now. I'm headed to that thing right there. Bed. Good night, good luck, and happy time of your life.